Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? It's Jay here with another guitar video for you. So for the last week or so, and this is still a little rough, so forgive me if I make any mistakes, because obviously I'm not the greatest ever. Most of you know that who have subscribed to me. For my guitar videos, you know that I'm not the best player ever. Maybe that's what appeals myself to you, that I'm not this, super technical califragilistic guy or whatever. But anyway, I discovered a new tuning, not discovered it, obviously somebody else discovered it before me, but one of my favorite classic rock songs of all time, bar none, is Sweet Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Now, this song uses a really weird tuning. I had to look it up. Basically, the tuning from top to bottom is E, B, E, E, B, E. So 4 of the strings are going to be tuned to E. 2 of the strings are going to be tuned to B. Okay? The top E string stays the same. The A string tunes up to B. The D string tunes up to E. The G string tunes down to E. And the B and E sound the same for standard tuning. Okay? That gives you this. I kind of whack the bass string a little bit. Okay, so it gives you a nice E ring that's just beautiful, okay? Now, what this does for the song, it gives it this drone-like quality where Steven's not really playing all the strings he's not fretting all the strings. He's only fretting a couple of the strings at the same time, thereby leaving a lot of the other strings to just ring. And it gives it kind of like an Indian sitar kind of quality to it that's really cool, and always made me wonder how he played it like that, because obviously it wasn't in standard tuning. The other side of this, the other problem with this is it's very hard to teach, because the shapes that you're going to be using are very different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link to what really got me started on this song. It's an A to Z Chords website. A guy posted a version that he figured out on this modal tuning, and it's really good. And I think that this is pretty much the definitive version. Now, you can see how hard it is if you go to this website to actually teach the song, even through tablature, because the chords, you can't just put A, C, you can't just do that, because you're not playing a C. If you try to play a C chord, it's going to sound like this. It's going to be completely twisted, right? It's not G, nothing sounds right anymore, okay? So you can't really just put that on there. So what he did was he numbered all the chords, and then he put the numbers in. It's kind of hard to decipher, but I think once you get the gist of what Stephen Stills was doing, it's actually not that hard to figure out once you get it. And the fingerings are actually fairly easy, okay? So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to put a face to those chords, okay? And I'm just going to play each section, like kind of shortened versions of each section, just to get you guys understanding the fingerings and where your hands are going to be moving and stuff like that. So real quick, we'll do the intro, okay? The intro is this. Goes right into the verse, as you know. It's getting to the point. Back around, okay? So then in the middle you hear that part where, Stills goes, oh. He goes back to the intro for a second before the David Crosby lead vocal part. Tearing your seat. That's that whole part, okay? And then I'm trying to think of. anyway, I kind of found it. Again, I'm not sure they do this, but when I'm playing it kind of performance, like when I'm on the guitar, I'll do that little 12 part, that bit there. I don't know why. To my ears, it just sounds better. I think that's kind of what Stephen Stills, or maybe he's doing like kind of a. Now, the next part is the real fast part, the Chestnut Brown Canary part. Now, as you know, I'm not a lead player, so after that part that they do the. As you know, I'm not. So that whole part there, play around with it, okay? Really play around with just this kind of. But the main thing here is the. Just play around with that part, okay? Because that's kind of the free form, kind of cool, do your little soloing part, and if you're better than I am, then friggin' awesome. Good for you. The last part is just the do-do-do-do-do part where Stills is singing in Spanish and all that stuff, or Portuguese, whatever it is. That's really easy, okay? That part I can actually teach you. So in this tuning, you're going to have your index finger on the 5th fret of the top string here, and your middle finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string down, which is also E, okay? And you're just going to slide around. So. So it's 5, 7, 14, 10, 12. 5, 7, 14, 12. And that's it.